What do investors that bought properties in different locations in Dubai, like Dubai Hills, District 1 and Al Barari, have all in common? First and foremost, they profited from their villa investment. The next common thing they share is the question that they ask: where to invest next to double or triple their capital? Is there still a jackpot opportunity like Dubai Hills or District 1 was just a few years ago? Are there still villa master plans that is not yet overpriced and where they can maximize their returns? What is the next community where you can invest in an off-plan villa and appreciate 150% of your capital? Should you hold your property in Dubai Hills or sell it and reinvest in District 1, for example? How to make 50 million dirham capital out of your 20 million villa profit that you gain in Dubai Hills Estate, for example. This and many other questions by investors with whom I'm working for many years asking me daily: Anastasia, where to next? In this video, we will focus on the investment concept that will be focused on villa investments in the luxury prime locations with the big plots. I will introduce you to a new master plan and I will explain you how to benefit from the current market trends, how to invest in a villa, off-plan villa, without selling your current property if this is your prime residency. This is Anastasia Dorokhina, and let me take you to this journey to explore your best villa investments in Dubai. When investors are looking at the options, they often have different scenarios to consider. It's either investment into multiple units, for example, buying a floor and a bulk deal in a building, or with the same amount of capital, they can go and buy lesser units with a bigger ticket size and go for the villa, for example. Now, let's understand why villas are better investment than apartments. There are three major reasons. And the first one, of course, is the scarcity of land, especially scarcity of land in prime locations. For example, in Dubai Hills, in Meydan, in Emirates Living, there is no more plot left to sell the land for construction to investors, or there is no more plot land left to build the villas. So this scarcity leads to high demand, high prices. For developers, of course, it's easier to make a high-rise tower on a smaller plot than give a huge community with a big villa plots. So investing in something that is very limited, this is what gets you the highest return. Second of all, it's maintenance cost. In apartments, it's typically 3 times higher than in the villa. For example, in a villa community, your maintenance cost would be anywhere between 3 to 7 dirham per square feet, which is in an apartment will be around 21 dirham per square feet. So you see, difference is 3 times more for apartments. And this actually will take out from your rental return in the future. The next major part, the big reason why villa investment is better than apartments, is because of the capital appreciation. When we look at the villa capital appreciation, it's roughly between 20 to 25% per year, and we will unfold these numbers later throughout the video. While apartments, not in every location will give you the same capital appreciation. For this type of numbers, you would only have to be carefully looking at waterfront apartments in specific project and specific unit. While for villa investments, 20 to 25% ROI and value increase specifically could be achieved almost in any location across the city in Dubai. And we've seen these numbers from Dubai South all the way to the Valley. For summarizing the growth trajectory for villa communities, today I picked 3 communities that I think represent the best lifestyle. Those are modern communities, and this is very popular communities where a lot of families and investors are looking at right now. First one is District 1. Located in the heart of the city, this is the closest community to downtown. Initially introduced back in 2015, it's now became a hit due to its strategic location. Anyone that wants to be closer to downtown but live in a villa goes to District 1 first. Some of the transactions in District 1 are impressive. When we compare the prices at the launch phase versus now, investors have made 200, 300, 400% capital appreciation. But also, if we look at the recent transactions, for example, in 2022, someone who bought a villa with a plot of 12,000 square feet with a price of 17 million dirham has recently sold it at 35 million dirham. You see, this capital appreciation is way more than you could expect in any other community. The only challenge is that community is ready, so when you buy a villa there, you would have to put 100% of your capital and you can enjoy 20 to 25% growth per year. As I mentioned, there are options that we would look into where you can buy a villa on off-plan stage and pay slowly according to the payment plan and enjoy even better capital appreciation over the years. Now, when we look at neighboring communities that became a hit, not due to location, but due to the lifestyle that they're offering, another interesting example that I'd like to bring to your attention is Barari community. Barari is located a little bit further away from the downtown and Business Bay and the IFC. Yet many people prefer to live in Barari and they don't mind travel time. Initially introduced back in 2010, this community was not really in demand by many investors and users, and it took it few years for people to understand that low density is a new luxury, lush greenery is a new luxury, and the lifestyle that communities offers is something unique and different in Dubai. When we look at Barari transactions, there are also some impressive numbers that even amazed me. For example, villa of 5-bedroom Lunaria that was initially introduced back in end of 22, beginning of 23, just at 16 million dirham with a plot of 10,000 square feet. Right now is reselling at 26 million dirham. This is more than 60% growth just over 2 years. So imagine the returns that you get when you're investing in low density luxury villa communities with the big plots. When we talk about luxury villas, of course, we cannot skip Dubai Hills Estate. Interestingly, that 3 out of 5 clients that come to me, international clients, they already know Dubai Hills as a community. That got me curious, and I checked the search volume of Dubai Hills per month globally. And I was amazed to find out that per month Dubai Hills is getting around 54,700 searches, which is in comparison to downtown, for example, which is getting 110,000 searches, represent very good amount of searches. So people that are looking for properties in Dubai Hills are searching from UK, Denmark, India, and other countries. Dubai Hills Estate Golf Course that was initially introduced in 2015 has a wide range of different properties that are ranging from club villas, that are semi-detached villas, starting from 8 million dirham, all the way to massive mansions on the golf course, as Hills Grove and Hills View, with the plots around 40,000 square feet. So the price range is quite different. We can take a mid-range, for example, and look at Fairway Vista on the golf course. For example, right now, this Fairway Vista with the full golf course view, with a plot of 12,000 square feet, 13,000 square feet, is reselling at 45 million dirham. And back in 2021, the same villa was selling just at 16 million dirham. So you can imagine it's 400% capital appreciation just over the period of 3 years. It's impressive, isn't it? For example, if you're the owner of one of these properties in Dubai Hills Estate, and actually you live in this villa, you enjoy this lifestyle and community, you want to use this opportunity of value increase of your property and capitalize on it. But at the same time, you don't want to sell this villa. Your option would be to go for equity release against this property. And for example, if we're looking at the villa that worth 45 million dirham, you could borrow up to 50 or 60% of equity, which is 23 million dirham, and use this capital as your cash for new off-plan investment. In terms of the technical details, the bank that you would borrow from would release you a manager's check directly to the name of the seller or developer, and you could go with this payment and go ahead and finalize your purchase. So it's very easily managed, provided that bank approves your profile, and T's and C's like interest rate would of course depend on the investor's profile. But just to put things in perspective, current interest rate for equity release, for example, is around 4.35%. Given that the numbers we discussed, that villa investments in luxury locations gives you 20 to 25% return, it leaves you with 17.35% capital increase per year if you are borrowing at 4.35%, which is very significant return. And tell me where else, in which asset, in which investment you could get the same type of return. Would be difficult to put something as solid as a real estate investment in a villa. I haven't seen any other instruments that would go with the same high ROI. So this is an option for investors, for property owners that are sitting on the value increase villa in one of those communities and looking to maximize their returns. Consider equity release as your option. Now that we look at the price growth trajectory and look at some of examples of villa communities and the track records of resale price versus launch price, this is the time where I bring you to discovery of the new master plan, where you can maximize your returns when it comes to investing in the luxury low-density villa communities. Let me introduce you to Oasis by Emaar. This is a new master plan that was launched earlier last year. I have already made a full detailed video on Oasis where I explain location, features, clusters, and pricing. Please feel free to click this video and watch the full presentation in the description of this video, or reach out to me for a full presentation. Today, I'd like to highlight and show you the difference in terms of the price, what you can get in Oasis, and what are the similar villas right now are selling if they are ready. We looked at Barari, we looked at Dubai Hills and District 1. In my opinion, Oasis represents the best out of all these three communities. And the price in Oasis is 2 to 3 times less than the price for a ready villa that you are getting in these communities. For example, in a recent launch in Oasis in the cluster Mirage, investors were enjoying getting a 5-bedroom villa between 15 to 16 million dirham for the plot size of 10 to 11,000 square feet. The same villa in District 1, for example, would cost you 35 million. In Barari, 26 million, and 45 million dirham in Dubai Hills estate. So you see the difference when it comes to buying a ready villa versus off-plan villa. We anticipate few more inventory releases in Oasis throughout this year. Also, what's interesting that Oasis will offer not only mid-range villas, but also massive mansions, similarly to what we have in Dubai Hills, similarly to Hills Grove and Hills View. There will be a cluster of very limited units, less than 40 units, where you could secure a huge mega mansion with a plot size between 25,000 to 35,000 square feet. Just as a reference, similar villas and mansions that are sitting on the golf course site of Dubai Hills estate in the Hills Grove and Hills View are reselling anywhere from 100 to 150 million dirham. So securing a mansion in Oasis that will be tentatively priced anywhere between 38 million to 45 million, while comparing them with already existing mansions in Dubai Hills, gives you a numbers and the potential for your capital appreciation. That is massive. When we look at 40 million versus 100 and 40 million versus 200 plus, you can see how massive your return could be. There will be also further releases of the smaller and mid-size villas in Oasis. So please feel free to reach out to me in advance so that we can discuss your criteria and match it with the possible available options. What is also interesting that investors need to consider when they invest, it's not only where, it's not only the master plan, but it's only when, the timing. The timing is very important. And typically, based on the track record of success of my investors, I can say that whoever invested in the initial stage at inauguration of the master plan, they made the most margins. Because at the initial stage of every launch, of every master plan introduction, developer leaves the substantial margins for those investors who come to invest first. Because the success of the project is also depending on the success of the investors that come and invest in an initial stage. As Oasis right now is still could be considered at the initial stage, the master plan is just 1 year old. I think this is one of the best master plans for low density luxury villa communities where investors can make a substantial returns. Investing in Oasis by Emaar, it's not just about buying a property, it's about securing a lifestyle, exclusivity and space. With villa prices skyrocketing, now is the time to invest in exclusive villa communities. Whether you're looking for a full consultation, comprehensive understanding of the Oasis master plan, or you need a help and consultation with the equity release, I'd be happy to guide you and to answer all your questions on all your options. This is Anastasia, and let's make your next profitable investment together.